Okay, you're going to want to mark this date down, December 18th, 2025, because that's the day the world of global trade could get quietly turned on its head. China's Hainan province is set to officially become this massive, island-wide free trade port. People are calling it the most significant opening in China's modern era. So it really makes you wonder, are we looking at the new kings of global trade?
The scale of this thing is honestly hard to wrap your head around. We're talking about 39,000 square kilometers. Now, to put that into perspective, this isn't just another industrial park or some little designated zone. No. This is an entire province being transformed into the world's largest free trade port by area. It's huge.
And if you really want to understand that scale, just look at the competition. Hainan isn't just a little bigger, it's a giant. It's 54 times larger than Singapore. It's 10 times larger than Dubai's entire free zone ecosystem. This isn't just an incremental change. We're talking about a whole different league.
And that, of course, leads to the billion-dollar question that businesses, governments, well, everyone is asking right now. Does this colossal new player pose a real existential threat to the established order that's been dominated by Singapore and Dubai for decades?
Well, to answer that, we have to get one thing straight. This is not a simple apples-to-apples comparison. We are looking at three hubs with three fundamentally different models. Each one of these contenders is running a unique playbook, and they're all optimized for a completely different game.
So first up, you've got the reigning champion, Singapore. Its identity is built on 2 centuries of history, and its playbook is crystal clear. They don't compete on price. They compete on trust, on geopolitical neutrality, on the rule of law, and on those deep interlocking network effects that come from being the world's most reliable middleman. Then you have Dubai. Its model is built on just an undeniable geographic truth. It is the perfect midpoint. It's the inevitable connector for trade between Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. Its whole value proposition is being the indispensable crossroads of 3 continents.
And finally, we have the challenger, Hainan. Its identity is absolutely laser-focused. It's not trying to be a global hub for everybody. It is a highly specialized gateway built for one single powerful purpose: giving companies tariff-free access to that massive Chinese domestic market.
All right, so we've got our 3 playbooks: trust, geography, and market access. Now let's see how these different strategies actually perform when we look at the hard data.
When we look at container growth, the data tells a story of just incredible velocity. While the mature, established ports of Singapore and Dubai are seeing steady, healthy growth, around 4%, Hainan is experiencing an explosive 88% compound annual growth rate. That is a pace of expansion you rarely see anywhere in the world. This scorecard really reveals their completely different profiles. Take a look at Singapore. Consistent high scores, a true all-around performer. Perfect 10s on connectivity and predictability, except when it comes to cost. And then there's Hainan. Its profile is spiky. A perfect 10 for China access and a 9 for cost, but, a bit weaker on global connectivity and legal predictability. It's a specialist, not a generalist.
So where do these totally different models actually collide? Well, the primary battleground where the real fight is happening right now is that massive, nearly $1 trillion trade corridor between China and the ASEAN nations. So what's driving this fight? Well, Hainan has a secret weapon. You could call it a killer app that neither Singapore nor Dubai can offer: the 30% value-added rule. This means companies can import raw materials into Hainan completely duty-free, process them, and as long as they add at least 30% to the product's value, they can then ship it to mainland China without paying any import tariffs. That's a game changer.
Let's see how this actually plays out in the real world. So the traditional shipping route from, let's say, Indonesia to China used to go through Singapore. That was a 9 to 10-day journey with multiple handling points and custom stops. The new path through Hainan, it cuts that down to just 6 days, with single cargo handling and a much more streamlined customs process.
And that efficiency, that time saved, it translates directly into money saved. We're seeing documented cost savings of up to 32% for certain cargo that's been rerouted from Singapore to Hainan. Now, for price-sensitive goods, that is an almost irresistible advantage.
So, does this all mean it's game over for the incumbents? Not at all. The evidence really suggests that Hainan's rise doesn't mean Singapore and Dubai are going to fall. Instead, what we're witnessing is the evolution of a multi-hub world. This is not a zero-sum game.
And that's because the established hubs still have these core strengths that Hainan simply cannot replicate.
Singapore is still the undisputed king of global transshipment, high-value cargo, and complex financial services. And Dubai? It's still the essential bridge for that EMEA-Asia trade, offering tax certainty and deep cultural connections you just can't find anywhere else.
Okay, so what does this actually need for your business strategy? It's pretty simple, actually. You use Hainan when you're manufacturing for Chinese consumers. You use Singapore for global distribution where trust and connectivity are absolutely key. And you use Dubai to access those vast markets in the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia. The best strategy in this new world? Use all three to build a diversified and resilient supply chain.
So the verdict is in. What we are really seeing here is addition, not substitution. It's the rise of specialization over universality, and it signals a whole new era of multipolarity in global trade, not some winner-take-all fight to the death.
And this leaves us with a provocative new question for leaders. See, the old question was, which hub should I choose? The new and much more strategic question is, how do I intelligently use all three to optimize my supply chain for cost, for access, and for resilience in this changing world?